Before I start the video, I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreons who have been supporting my channel. If you would like to check out my Patreon and receive early access to some very exciting videos coming soon, then please click the link in the description below.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nerd Den here once again, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my final thoughts and giving a review for The Giggle, because The Giggle has aired, well, I think it's about 24 hours ago now. I've watched it 3 times, so I've kind of got my final thoughts and stuff like that. I've also watched the commentary, and I kind of want to go over a few things that I thought about the episode, what I enjoyed, yada yada, and then later on in the week I'll be doing my review and thoughts of this 60th anniversary specials as a whole, because despite what has been said, they are kind of one complete story. So yeah, I'll be doing that as an entire thing once that's done. I mean, yeah, it'll be like next week or something like that where I'll be doing that. So yes, with that being said, let's get into the video and talk about my thoughts on The Giggle, because I've got quite a few things I want to say. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I've got to say straight off the bat, this is the strongest of the 60th anniversary specials in my opinion. Like, there were a lot of things going on, and I've got to say personally, I wish it was at least 90 minutes in total instead of 61 minutes, because there were a lot of things going on this episode. We had to have the toy maker being established, like how the toy maker returned and all that stuff, and to introduce this new iteration of the toy maker. We also had to wrap up the 14th Doctor story, Catherine Tate's story as Donna Noble, and the rest of the Noble clan. We also had the arrival of the 15th Doctor, and there were a lot of things going on, and obviously there was some setups for some other stuff that will be happening in season 1, aka series 14 of Doctor Who. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this episode, but I don't feel like things were too undermanaged when it came to various plot threads. Like, I enjoyed Neil Patrick Harris's performance as the Toymaker. I thought he absolutely smashed it out of the park. He was such a menacing villain, which worked throughout the narrative. Even though I wasn't happy on how things were wrapped up, but I am going to give the show a benefit of the doubt, because there's been a lot of hints that this is simply part 1 of the Toymaker's schemes, and that he will be making a return, but with some friends of his as well, or some family members, I don't know. But yeah, his legion are on the way, and that's when stuff will really hit the fan. So I think, yeah, I'm going to give that a benefit of the doubt, but I'm still going to mark it down just because I wanted a bit more from the ending. But anyway, let's move on to the rest of the plot as well, because Unit were also at the centre of all this, and I'm already getting the suspicion that Unit will be playing a big role in this new era. Like, rumours of a spin-off aside, Kate Lethbridge-Stewart here felt more utilised than she did during the Chibnall era, and even the Moffat era as well. Like, she actually had something to do, and Gemma Redgrave's acting was actually really good. I mean, I'm not trying to say that she was like rubbish throughout, but I mean, in terms of how the character was utilised in the past, that's where I'm criticising here. But in terms of her involvement in The Giggle, I thought she did a really good job, and I did like that more menacing side of her when she took the bracelet off and allowed herself to be meddled by the Toymaker's meddling, and her brain activity went all over the place, and it was nice to see that side of her, because we haven't really seen Kate Stewart, you know, really show much emotion on many things. It was nice to see that change in character, and Gemma Redgrave knocked it out of the park, which I loved, and hopefully we get to see more scenes like that where she's expressing more emotion as we move forward into the new series. And also as well, Ruth Madley, who plays Shirley Ann Bingham, was absolutely fantastic, just as she was in The Star Beast, and a character that I have loved seeing in the new era, and I'm already attached to already, and I can't wait to see her return in the new series as well. I think she's going to be absolutely fantastic and a vital member of Unit moving forward. There were a few things that I'd like to say in terms of the involvement of Bonnie Langford as Mel, because I feel like whilst she was there for a good amount of screen time, I wish she was able to do more. Like, I wish that she went back in time with the Doctor and Donna to go into the toy shop and meet the toy maker, because, you know, it would have added that school reunion feel. And I know that, yeah, Mel isn't on the same popularity of what Sarah Jane was back then, but it would have been nice to kind of develop Mel's and the Doctor's friendship a little bit more. Unless they're just saving that for the new series, because we do know that Mel is going to be in the new series with Ncuti Gatwa. But it would be nice to have that little bit of development, I think. But, I mean, regardless, though, it was lovely to see Bonnie Langford turn up and have Mel back on the scene after so long, because Mel, unfortunately, for many in the classic series, she didn't really get the best of luck when it came to stories. But with Big Finish and, well, now with the new series of Doctor Who, Mel is standing out a lot more. And I feel like, yeah, she is going to be a bit of a badass moving forward. And I am all game for that. Now, obviously, to move on to other components of the story, David Tennant's acting was on point again. I mean, he's a tremendous actor anyway, but the 14th Doctor has really knocked out the park. I mean, I even said this during my review of The Star Beast and The Wild Blue Yonder. I was worried that 14 was just going to be a copy of 10. But no, the 14th Doctor has his own identity, and he's a really emotional character, and that's what I'm really loving about this character. Because this iteration of the Doctor is clearly going through some form of identity crisis and dealing with a lot of trauma. And it was nice to see some of the past trauma represented in the Giggle through the puppet show. And that's, again, another testament to Neil Patrick Harris's acting, because I just loved the accents constantly chopping and changing. It was so cool how that was done. And the use of the puppets was kind of done to a comedic effect, whilst also showing that the Doctor is clearly hurt by everything that has gone down in recent seasons of the show. But yeah, the 14th Doctor, in my opinion, got a decent send-off. I mean, obviously when I say a send-off, it's more open-ended, and I'm pretty sure that there is room for a spin-off, or like a couple episodes down the line or something where 14 might show up or something like that. I mean, I say a couple episodes, I mean, it probably might be for another anniversary special or for a season finale or something like that. But yeah, I did like the fact that David's Doctor this time was more accepting of his fate and was ready to regenerate, even though the regeneration was completely different. And I've got to say, I do like the new visuals. I know, yes, she's still got the flame stuff that was hinted, but in terms of like where the Doctor splits off and stuff, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And in terms of visuals as well, the whole episode, again, felt really good visually. Like, there's a lot of action going on, and especially during the musical scene where the Toymaker is dancing to Spice Girls, I thought that was a really, really well done scene visually. And, just seeing, like, the petals fly everywhere and stuff like that, and the Toymaker just dashing from door to door and dancing with Kate Stewart and Mel. I thought that was really well done, and it's just, again, just a tremendously executed scene. I thought it was bloody fantastic. But I know I've rambled in this review and darted from parts of episodes and stuff like that. The only thing that I've really got to criticise, to be honest, heavily, is the ending of the Toymaker scheme, where he loses due to being unable to catch a ball. I know that was set up earlier on, but I just feel like with the Toymaker, especially with the amount of damage he was able to cause on Earth so early on in the plot, I thought he would have been able to win that game at least, or at least be defeated in a different way. But I've got to say, overall, I would say that this episode for me is a 9 out of 10. And I know I've rambled on my thoughts, as I always do when it comes to reviews, but there's a lot of things in this episode I enjoyed. In my opinion, this is probably the best one of the 60th anniversary specials. It felt more like an anniversary special, and controversially, I am going to say this one felt more of an anniversary of the entire show than the Day of the Doctor did. And I feel like people are going to be like, what, no, what? But that's just how I feel about this, because, you had Mel, you had the Toymaker, you had a lot of references to past companions like Rose, Sarah Jane, Adric, and it just, in my opinion, it worked a bit more. And there was just that more of like a traditional RTD final, which is something I've missed, to be honest, from modern Who. But yeah, in my opinion, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. It was a really solid episode, and I can't wait to see what happens moving forward with not only the Toymaker, because I believe the Toymaker will be back, but also hints of the Master returning, what's going to happen with the 14th Doctor, and obviously Christmas Day we are going to be seeing the debut of Ncuti Gatwa as the 15th Doctor. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you are new around here, please click that like button and subscribe for more nerdy content, because I'm trying to reach 6,000 subscribers, which I would love to reach by the end of the year. But anyway, take care, love you all, and peace.